Hi, we're here at the Write at Home conference with 3 of the business owners in the network to learn what life as a Write at Home franchisee is really all about. So if you can please introduce yourself.
Absolutely. So I'm Kev from Write at Home Solent and Southampton offices.
I'm Alistair from Write at Home Guildford and Farnham, and now also Twickenham.
And I'm Jenny from Write at Home Boreham Wood and Watford.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. So I want to get a bit of lowdown into what life in the network is really like. And Kev, I'll start with you just because you're nearest me. You've had a pretty decorated experience, I think it's fair to say. Yourself and Amy have been big award winners. Yeah. Not just with Write at Home, but also with the British Franchise Association. Yeah. How's your journey with Write at Home been?
Oh, it's been awesome. I think you go into a business, there's going to be challenges. If you go into a business thinking there aren't going to be any challenges, then you're losing it a little bit from that sense. But the cool thing about Write at Home and Ken was that he kind of tells you that you've got to have the resilience and all of the things that he talked about today. You have to have that when you're entering into your own business, because it's not going to be easy. We're here to support you, but you're going to have a lot of challenges along the way. So you've got that in your mind, so that when you do face those challenges, it's not the end of the world. Knew it was going to happen, and then you've got the support network, and then I guess you've got everyone else in the network to support you as well. So I speak to Al a lot, and that really helps, because someone who's been through the journey, you can share those stories from that point of view as well. So yeah, we've had a fantastic experience actually.
And how long have you run the business for?
6 years. Yeah,
6 years.
6 years now.
And you were quite young when you started.
Yeah,
right?
So we were both. I think I just turned 30, and Amy was 29 when we started the business.
And what was the driver at that age?
So we're from kind of Asian families who are just inherently, we've always been around businesses, and I've always wanted to have my own business. Amy the same, and we both were essentially brought up by our elderly grandparents on either side, just because our parents were just always working. So we wanted to kind of do a mix of kind of start our own business, but also be able to support the elderly generation in a way that we'd want them to be supported. So it's your perfect business in that sense, isn't it? Because you're doing something really value add on a daily basis, and then you can build a life out of it as well. So it's pretty ideal from that point of view. So.
Yeah, that's nice. And Alistair, you're one of the earlier franchisees, and I think the biggest in the network now, from what I understand. Yeah. What's your journey been like? How long have you been going?
So about 9.5 years now, and like Kev, it's been a fantastic experience. I think I was reflecting on how I guess my role has changed from the early days when you're kind of doing everything that needs to be done in the office, and then gradually recruiting people to take on those roles. And I've loved kind of every step of that journey, all the different challenges and the different things I've got involved in. I just love the variety of what we do.
And did you come into it expecting and wanting to grow a business as big as you've taken it?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to grow a good-sized business. I think what attracted me to Write at Home, and I guess this business model, was that it gives you the opportunity to build up a team of people, and I love working with people. So, that's one of the things that appealed to me, to be able to build a good-sized business.
Is that one of the key skills in this kind of business? It's a people business, isn't it? Right? The clients, not just the clients, your team. It all functions around the relationships that you have, right?
Yeah, 100%, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the people.
And it's interesting, Kev, you were saying don't shy away from the challenges. Do you agree with that, Jen? I know as a business Write at Home, don't shy away. When you start this franchise, it's going to be hard work.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, I've never found it as hard work, and none of the challenges it excites me. When you put a challenge in front of me, I just think, I can do this, I haven't felt real challenges. We had, with COVID, we lost one of our carers, which was really tough. But other than that, every challenge has just been exciting, really. You just have so much energy, and you can work so many hours. I mean, it's just a buzz.
And how long have you been
3 years.
Going for 3 years.
Just over
okay.
3 years, yeah.
Okay. And do you agree? Kev was talking about the camaraderie in the network. He speaks with Alistair a lot.
Yeah.
Do you find that across the network as franchisees?
Definitely. I needed to ask advice recently from Alistair, actually. So we booked in some time and just had half an hour on the phone. It's just really helpful, and I trust the people that I speak to. That's so important as well. So you've got your family who you can speak to, who you trust. But other people in the same position as you is really handy. And even down, I was listening to Ken today, I trust him so much. So, and I would take any advice he gave me. So that's really comfortable. And I was going to go down a different route with a different company until I came across Right at Home. So, yeah, I'm delighted with them. Just feels
I think
right.
it is. I guess quite special because running a business can be pretty lonely. But to be able to have a peer group of people that you can just pick up the phone to, whether it's for advice or it's just to kind of share the pains that you're going through,
100%.
or bounce some ideas around. It's really special.
That's the ideal thing about a franchise network as well, isn't it? Because they're very, very similar businesses. They've all got their own nuances, but they're very similar businesses. So when you're asking someone advice, it's actually like you are getting a solution as to, well, you could try this or you could try that, or I've tried this and this didn't work, but you could give it a go. It's the most ideal scenario. You get a lot of value when you talk to people from different businesses, but this is kind of super special in that sense. So.
Yeah, I can see that, and it's interesting. You both talked to Alistair as one of the older franchisees, I guess, if in terms of the franchise length of time. But you're still finding that as well, Alistair. You're saying as well.
Well, I think you're always going to have challenges in a business, and to keep moving forward, you need to try new things, do different things. So there's always people within the network innovating and trying things. So you get ideas from other people, and it's just good to be able to pick up the phone to someone.
So it was just yesterday we were talking about retention in one of our meetings, and they mentioned that Jen's got fantastic retention, and kind of were able to say, well, look, it's not like doing anything crazy and innovative. It's just doing a lot of the really good stuff that we all know we should do, and as much as it doesn't scale very well, you can still get it all done. And sometimes it's just nice to get that back, because you're looking for some sort of gem from somewhere, but it's like, well, no, actually someone's just following the rule book and it's working, so let's all go back to that and do it. It's nice in that sense as well.
Yeah, I think so. And you are all quite literally outstanding franchisees. Your offices are all rated by the CQC as outstanding. That's true.
Yeah.
What does it take to get that? Because I think Right at Home as a network, the statistics, something like 30% of the network is outstanding. The sector average is about 3%. It's an unbelievable kind of leading brand in that respect. What does it take to run an office?
I think yours is the most recent, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I felt very much that it was about the people. It's about the carers that I've got around me, the team of the people that I have around me, from the manager to the administrator, everybody. That we work as a really strong team. But it's also, I mean, the carers are phenomenal the way they do their job. They're passionate, they're excited, and they seem to treat all of our clients exactly the same, and that they hear their voice and they listen to what they have to say, and they follow, what the client wants, rather than running in, running out. I had a carer once come to me from a competitor, and she left very quickly and said, "Your clients are all spoiled." I said, "No, they're not. They're just living with a bit of dignity, and my carers are doing a great job." So it's about the people, listening to the clients, and then looking after. I mean, Ken's just said it. It's about looking after those people as well, paying them as much as you can, listening to what their needs are, kind of indulging their quirks, and just working as a team, really. Yeah.
And I think I'd add to that, I agree with all of that, but I'd add to that it's getting all the basics right, so making sure all the paperwork's right, follow the right processes and procedures, which is again, I guess, the benefit we have from the franchise, as opposed to if you're running an independent business. We've got support with that, making sure that we are fully compliant. And then I think the people stuff is where you kind of go the next step up to the outstanding.
Yeah, definitely. It's that integrity piece, isn't it? You read so much about it in the care sector, in terms of, like, if you do always genuinely try and do the right thing, sometimes it's going to go wrong, but then you got to be honest about it and show them your learnings from it. And actually, that's what the CQC love, and they it's really nice, because actually you're just doing the right thing, understand that stuff goes wrong, and then explain to them, and they know we're humans, and our businesses are full of humans, and it works really well.
Yeah, it's great. And that compliance word, I mean, this is, in some ways, it's a scary sector, not just with the compliance, but of course the service you're providing is literally changing lives for the better or worse, depending on the care that's given. And that compliance and all the things that go with it, how important is the national office, especially when you're getting started, kind of navigating that? There's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah, there's loads. So you get a lot of support. I guess if you think about it, you're part of a franchise, and the biggest part of it is the compliance support. So you've got someone who's leading a compliance team, who's worked in the CQC, who's kind of there, and we were talking about it, he's almost always available to us in terms of someone to ask, because there's so much to know. You're never going to know all of it straight away, so there's always great to have someone there who you can get that support from, and obviously it's probably the biggest part of the support we get from national office, I'd say.
Did any of you have a background in care at all? Kev, you talked about your family.
I was a nurse for many years, and I had provided nurses, but also carers. So 70% of my business was nurses and 30% carers. So I had been a registered manager, and I had been successful in growing a business and managing lots of people. So I had that before I started. But you learn so much every day. I mean, yeah, so I had the experience, but I still have learned so much from Simon. And Simon is incredible, incredible. You just need half an hour sometimes on the phone, and I literally jot everything down that he says, and then I go back.
No, he is a fountain of knowledge.
He's incredible. Yeah,
but you're very much the exception, really, amongst the franchisees, aren't you? There's very few people who've got a background in care, and there's people from all sorts of different backgrounds.
And that's interesting, and still coming in, outstanding offices, and obviously you had a bit of experience, but still succeeding, and while it's not about the finances primarily, but you're able to drive the kind of lifestyle that you want from this at the same time as making a difference. Is that fair?
Yeah, 100%. Like that's the point of it, isn't it? We have our aims, our visions of what size we want to grow our businesses to, but we know that, I guess for me, it's like if you do something and you do it really, really well, the business is going to grow organically. Just focus on doing it really well, and that's the plan. So yeah, absolutely. I'd love to think we're doing it out of charity, but then you want to build a life out of it as well, don't you? So
yeah, that's very.
And
cool.
I think just what you were saying about your, I guess, lifestyle, building your lifestyle. I think it's kind of up to you in a way, as running your own business. You decide who you recruit to do which roles, so you decide what you do in the business as it gets. You obviously need to lead it, but apart from that, you can add other people into the business.
And have you found your role changing, Alistair? You've been in a long time now. Have you found your role changing over that time?
Yeah, hugely. So I mean, in the early days, I was out delivering care myself, and doing all the finance and IT, and lots of the roles within the business. Whereas now I'm really just being a sort of, I guess, strategic role and coaching my senior team within the business. So very much less of the day-to-day jobs, I guess. Yeah.
And how do all of you see the kind of the future? Are you still hungry for more growth? Jen, you're the newest, as these guys have said. Are you hungry to push on and push further?
Yeah. And of course, money is a drive, but money is not my big driver. And so, but my daughter's grown up. My husband's busy working. I love going to work. Genuinely, I took half a day the other day and I got bored at home, so I was just, I love going to work and I'd love to do more of it. It's just the risk, or you're always looking at the risk factors and, but yeah, I would love to grow like Alistair has. Maybe not so big, just enough to maybe,
I don't know, it's exciting growing, and we're here to make a difference to people, and as you grow, you're making more of a difference to more people, so that's rewarding.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It is about making an impact, and you're going to get addicted to doing that for as many people as possible, because getting those phone calls from your clients saying, oh, someone's done this and they've genuinely changed my life, it's like you want that every day, and it's an awesome feeling, isn't it?
And I think as you grow and your business has been around longer, to see some of your team members who've joined as a caregiver and they've progressed and become a care manager, and to see that development is extremely rewarding.
You feel really proud, actually.
You do.
I feel really proud of my guys.
And to see them, they buy a new car, and you think that's just because what they're doing for you, and it's you that's enabled that to happen.
It's incredible. It feels really good.
Fantastic. All right, final couple of bits. You're all where you are now. You're all running very successful businesses. But when you started out, perhaps you less so, Jen, but you guys were probably relatively green. You've got the support of the franchise. What do you know now, having gone through what you've gone through, that you would like to, well, not necessarily like to go back, but what could you go back and tell yourself on day one that you know now that it would have been great to know then?
That's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that right now, so I'm going to pass you.
I think, I think there's probably lots of things, but one of them is just to focus on a core area geographically. So initially, I was out and we picked up clients kind of quite a wide range, and that was quite challenging. Being able to actually deliver that care, but. That's something I guess I've learned.
Yeah. I guess one of the best pieces of advice I got was about recruiting ahead of the curve and kind of having faith in that the business will grow. So essentially have faith in yourself that you'll get there, because you don't need to kind of not recruit, get to a point of crisis because you've grown really, really well. Then you're spending loads of time trying to recruit into those roles. You kind of recruit ahead of the curve and know that things are going to come good. Have trust in yourself, and because that's what we do now as a business. We're always kind of trying to recruit ahead of the curve. I guess partly because we can afford to, but also even at that time, it would have been really nice to know that and actually have the guts to do it, I'd say.
Great advice.
Yeah.
It's good to know, actually, because I'm in the position now where I need to recruit more people, but I'm nervous too. But ahead of the curve, as you say. So it's like starting them and then hoping that in the next 3 months that we can, but we have got a history of succeeding, so it's good to know.
It is. It's important. I guess it's betting on yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're having that confidence that it is going to grow, and making sure you're ready for it. Yeah.
Okay. You're all from very different backgrounds, and you've all come into this for quite different reasons, and you're running different businesses to some degree. Alistair, I want to start with you. What does it take for you? What are the key attributes to succeed, to be able to follow in any of your footsteps? Who do I need to be?
I think it's I think your role does change as the business grows, but I think the ability to relate to people and to be able to lead the team and engage the team in your vision and where you want the business to grow. I think that's probably the key thing.
That's good. Jen?
I've forgotten the question.
What are the key?
Sorry.
What are the key characteristics I need if I'm watching this and thinking I'm interested in investing in right at home? Who do I need to be?
You can't be scared of hard work. You need to enjoy hard work, and you need to be able to empathise and just look at everybody's perspective and try and kind of work things out. That I think that's and a hard worker, and a little bit crazy.
Yeah, that makes it fun, doesn't it? That's the cool bit. Definitely. I think the empathy word is huge. It's kind of like I'm always saying to the team, it's like really understanding the other person's point of view. It's the same. We have to understand the point of view of our clients, our office team and our caregivers, but you also have to support your office team to be able to do that, to grow. But I mean, in terms of key characteristics, I think for me it's the confidence and resilience, because the resilience is around, I know we talked about it, and I guess you face challenges in a slightly different way to the way we did, but it is around knowing that things are going to come good, and we are in a point of challenge. We're facing challenging times, but things will come good, and it's really easy, especially in the early days, to think, okay, cool, I don't know if I've made the right decision here, and we can back out and still go into our other jobs and things. But if you fight through that, then you end up here on a sofa doing an interview. Do you know what I mean? So it's really cool, isn't it? So.
Final question is possibly the easiest of the day, I think, and I'll start there and come down if that's okay. There are a number of care franchises out there, and there are a number of home care companies out there from both a customer and a prospective franchisee perspective. What makes Right at Home special, different?
For me, it was a feeling that I got, but they made me work for my place in Right at Home. So the other company were really pushing for me to sign on the dotted line, and that made me very nervous. Ken just didn't. He was like, if you want this is what you have to do. So, that's why I chose them, really. I just felt very comfortable. It was Kate at the beginning. I like Ken, and I like the people at National Office, and they're helpful, and I trust them. But the feel of this company seemed a lot more authentic, less salesy.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's the people, really. It's and that's from Ken and the National Office team to the fellow franchisees that we have, and the people in our own businesses. It's definitely the people.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me as well. It's kind of like, yeah, Ken and the team were very much kind of talk the talk, walk the walk, whereas everyone else was very, from a sales point of view, it's like everyone else was, this is what we want to do, and we want to focus on quality and like 1 hour calls, but you'll make loads of money out of 15-minute calls, so don't forget those. And it's kind of really confusing, whereas Ken's very much like, look, this is kind of our business model, and then it's what Jen said, is that these are the hurdles you've got to jump to get kind of a foot at the table, seat at the table, whatever you want to say, because I think that's really gives you a lot of confidence, because then you think, well, the other people in the network who are the brand have also been through that, so it definitely gives you that confidence at that point. So
Great stuff. Guys, thank you very much for your time and your answers. Great insight. If you'd like to learn more, please visit the Right at Home franchise website, and you can get in touch with us there.